You know, after all these years of cooking, even I find it daunting to give a dinner party. You have to make a main course, you have to make a vegetable, you have to make a starch, and even sometimes you have to make dessert. So what I love to do is I like to make something that's all in one big pot, the meat, the vegetables, and the starch. So what I'm making is lamb shanks with orzo. So I've cooked these lamb shanks. I've actually cooked 2 already, they're on the plate, and I'm cooking 2 more. And I cook them in a tomato sauce with lots of vegetables, and then at the end I'm gonna put orzo in it, which is pasta. So you've got one big pot and the entire dinner. It takes a little while to make, but it's really worth it. So what I'm doing is I'm searing lamb shanks. They're these huge chunks of meat, just like that. It's like caveman style. And what I did was I dusted it in flour with a little salt and pepper, and I'm just searing them so they get nice and browned on the outside. You know, one of the things about searing meat is you want to make sure it's really dry. So you dry it off with paper towels, and the flour actually helps it stay really dry so it gets nice and browned. And the flour actually also thickens the sauce, which is great. You don't want to crowd them, because if you crowd them, you're going to steam them rather than sear them. This is going to be fantastic. Okay, 2 more onto the plate. Next, I'm going to make the sauce. Is that like a big chunk of meat or what? Okay, now I'm just gonna wipe out the pan. I used grapeseed oil to sear the lamb, and I wanna use olive oil to saute the onions. So I'm just gonna wipe the grapeseed oil out, but leave all those brown bits. It's gonna flavor the sauce. I use grapeseed oil to sear the lamb shanks because it has a high burning temperature, but I wanna use olive oil to saute the vegetables because of the flavor. Okay, a little olive oil, a couple of tablespoons. First, I'm gonna put in onions, 3 cups of chopped onions. Got them all chopped. Ooh, love the way that sounds. And I've got 2 cups of chopped carrots and 2 cups of chopped celery. I'm just gonna put them all in the pan. This is one thing you really don't wanna rush. You wanna saute it so they have lots of flavor. Okay, so that's onions, carrots, celery, and I need rosemary. The lamb and rosemary really goes well together. So I need about a tablespoon of chopped rosemary. Just a really rough chop. It smells so good. Another reason why I love making a big stew like this, lamb shanks and orzo, is because you can make it ahead, you can reheat it really slowly, and just bring the entire pot to the table. A lot of people put garlic in the dish at this point, but I actually wait right until the end, because I feel like garlic burns, and that kind of burnt garlic flavor is just terrible. So I cook the onions and the vegetables and the rosemary, so that should be about a tablespoon. Right in. I'm just gonna cook these vegetables until they're tender, just 10 minutes. Okay, next is garlic. 3 cloves minced really fine. Then 2 cans of tomatoes, about 14.5 ounces each. So next is 2 cups of beef stock or beef broth, doesn't matter which. 1.5 cups of dry white wine. I think red wine is classic with lamb, but I'm using white wine because I don't want to turn everything purple in the dish, particularly the orzo. 4 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper. Just give that a big stir. It's going to be a great sauce for the lamb. So now I'm going to put the lamb shanks back in. This is so great for entertaining because everybody gets their own lamb shank, and it's going to be tender and falling off the bone. Look at the size of that. And the sauce is gonna flavor the orzo and the lamb, and it's gonna be one big pot of deliciousness. So these are gonna cook until the lamb is falling off the bone. It's really tender. I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves. It gives the sauce a really subtle flavor. Give that a stir. Now the best part of this recipe is it cooks in the oven, so you don't have to watch it. With the lid on, 325 degrees, I'm gonna turn it halfway through. It'll cook for 2 hours. This is a big pot. Whoa. You can't imagine how good it smells in here, the lamb shanks. Now I'm gonna put the orzo in. So, I'm gonna take the pot. Oh, this is a big pot. You don't even have to take the pot out of the oven. Just take the top off. Put in 2 cups of orzo. Just distribute it around. Give it a little stir. So now the orzo is going to absorb all of the lamb sauce. It's going to cook for another 30 minutes, the same temperature, 325. And that's going to be one delicious dinner. When the time was up, I took it out of the oven. The last thing is white wine. And I like that kind of just little edge it gives it. It kind of takes up the flavors, brightens them. So that's my lamb shanks with orzo. And here's my pro tip for serving it up. Pour the wine, place a folded kitchen towel in the middle of the table, put the pot of lamb shanks and orzo right on the towel. No ceremony, just super casual. Everyone helps themselves, and dinner is served. So that's my idea. Entertaining couldn't be simpler. One pot dinner right in the middle of the table. Everybody will love it, and so will you. I love assembled salads. It's a whole meal in one dish. And one of my favorites is a roasted chicken Cobb salad. And it starts with bacon. How bad could that be, right? So I've cooked the bacon 350 degrees on this sheet pan, so all the fat drains off, which is great. I cooked it for about 20 to 25 minutes, so I'm gonna let that cool. In the meantime, I've got all these other ingredients. The first one's Stilton, which is English blue cheese. And I'll show you how I like to cut this up. I just cut off the rind. A lot of people like to crumble Stilton into a salad, but I think it just makes everything look messy. So what I like to do is, as much as possible, cube it. So I'm just gonna prep all the ingredients, and then just before serving, put it all together. See, like big pieces are much better. This is good and messy, but delicious. Okay, the other ingredients I've cut up Hass avocados, big dice, because when I do an assembled salad, I want everything to be really clear. And I mix it with a little lemon juice, just to keep it bright green. Okay, that's perfect. I've got arugula that I washed and spun dry. It's got that really nice peppery flavor. I'll be really good in this. And I've got cherry tomatoes. And actually, I always cut the cherry tomatoes through the stem. I just think that looks nicest when you cut it open. Okay, next thing's the chicken. I roasted 2 chicken breasts. I slathered them with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and just roasted them 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, just until they're done. And then it's really important to let them rest. All the juices get back into the meat. A long time ago, I tested boiling chicken for chicken salad as opposed to roasting, and the roasting was so much better. So just take off the skin. Now I'm gonna take my knife and just run it right between the meat and the bones in a big piece, but it doesn't all have to come off at once, and then just pull it apart. I don't like lots of little pieces, so make big chunks, or you can shred it. Sometimes shredding is nice because it really absorbs the vinaigrette well. Okay, that's the chicken. So the bacon's cool now. I can cut it in big pieces. I mean, you don't want this to look like a dog's breakfast. You want it to look like exactly what it is, like a composed salad. Big pieces. It's nice and crisp. Okay, that's the bacon. Now I'm gonna make the vinaigrette. So that's 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I'm gonna add 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, and then Dijon mustard, what it does is emulsify it and flavor it at the same time. So 1½ tablespoons. It's gonna have lots of flavor. Some salt, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and just whisk it all together. It's great making vinaigrette in a measuring cup because you can measure, whisk, and pour all at the same time. Okay, everything's ready. I need a big white bowl, and I'm gonna assemble the salad. First, I'll start with the diced chicken, then the tomatoes, lots of salt, pepper, enough dressing to just moisten it, and I'll toss it all together. Next, the avocados, diced bacon, Stilton, the arugula on top, a little more dressing, a gentle toss, and it's done. That's so cool. How delicious does that look? And here's how I'm gonna serve it, right on the table. I'll keep the table casual, pour some delicious rosé, and put that big salad right in the middle instead of a centerpiece. Everyone gets to help themselves. Delicious. Trust me, everybody's gonna love this salad. It's a meal in one big bowl.